The world we live in today profits off of your burnout. That's right, your burnout. And you want to know why? Why is that? Because when you're tired, when you're numb, when you've just fucking had it, you're a lot less likely to give a shit about anything going on. You're not about to question anything. You just put one foot in front of the other. You keep showing up for bare minimum rewards. You won't question anything because you don't have the energy to. So oftentimes what this looks like is it leads to people working for a lot less. You end up staying dependent on quick fixes so that you can keep playing into the game of burnout. You need those coffees. You need that caffeine so you can keep showing up. You need to invest in some crazy skincare because your skin is fucked up because you're so stressed. It's a vicious cycle of keep you wounded and burnt out so that you keep investing in the things to keep you going so that you're still wounded and burnt out, but you're still playing into a capitalist society. And here's the thing. When you're burnt out, your self-worth tanks. You don't even have the energy to see your value. And that's kind of the point. You start overperforming so that you can validate your own self and feel valuable while other people make money off of you. And meanwhile, you just stay in a state of survival mode. Being burnt out makes you incredibly easy to manipulate. And as society advances and gets really good at hiding this stuff, we have to start talking more about the consequences of being in a state of burnout. I think in a couple years, we're going to start hearing people talk about the nervous system a lot more. It's been very evident that for the past however long, we've been talking about our mental health, and we are absolutely in a mental health crisis. I think more people than ever are experiencing anxiety and depression and whatever else mental health issues there are because we're going against human nature. Humans weren't supposed to be in a capitalist society. And while unfortunately, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I think we have to start talking about how we are going to adapt to the system so that it does not end up taking a toll on our bodies and our well-being and our quality of life down the road. We just got to get smarter, right? You're going to continue to live in a world where things are constantly being thrown at you. That's just how things are going to be. But we can get smarter at deciphering, am I distracting myself with these things? Do I need this or not? That is still up to us, okay? And that's what I want to focus on today, is talking about how we can regulate our nervous system in a society that profits off of that dysregulation and that burnout, okay? People are making money off you being busted and disgusted. They're not making money off of you being stable and balanced. So you better believe there are things put in place to keep you off track. Whether it's, this is honestly just like a deep, dark black hole I could probably go into, because it goes into the food we have. It's everything is just a fucking mess, okay? And it ain't getting better. So we got to get smarter. But here's the thing. The guilt that you feel for resting, the urge you feel to buy new clothes when you have an entire closet full of pieces you don't even wear, and even down to your chronic tummy issues. Yeah, that's me. All of this could possibly be linked and rooted to your nervous system needing a full factory reset. Because no, I don't think we were meant to live in this climate. But before we dive deeper, hi, I'm Bria. This is the Because I Love You podcast, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm really excited because I'm going to introduce 2 new segments to you in today's show, one being called Unfriendly Reminders. I'm so excited. The other one I'll show you towards the end of the show. But this one, I'm going to give you a little unfriendly reminder. It's meant to be a little lighthearted and typically connects to my personal life. So starting off strong, your unfriendly reminder is to make sure you have a fucking fire extinguisher. Do you know where the nearest fire extinguisher is in your home or your apartment or anywhere? Do you know where it is? And do you have vaguely any idea how to use it? Let me know in the comments. If you don't, figure it out. Figure it out, chat. Okay. So the other night, I'm watching Love Island like the rest of the world with my baby. Yes. It's either Miss Rachel or Love Island right now. We don't know. Anyways, AJ grills a lot, and this is our yard back here. As you can see, my back is typically turned to it. Well, anyways, he's grilling. I hear him come in and I hear him say, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, what? He's like, the grill's really smoking. And I turn around. It is in fact smoking. And inside of it is a giant ferocious flame. And I want to remind you of something. I'm postpartum right now. So my primal instincts are on 100, okay? My baby's in my hand. I'm looking at a fire that is 10 feet away from us. Don't fuck with me right now. Okay, don't play with me. So lots of things going through my mind, like maybe 10,000 things at once. I'm like, is my house gonna blow up? Is that propane tank off? You know, he did all the checks. He turned off the tank. He turned off all the lighters. He closed it so the flame could like kind of suffocate in there. But you know, my brain was still doing what it was gonna do because I'm like, protect the baby at all costs. Fuck the house. Fuck me. Fuck everybody else. Get my baby to safety. So anyways, this is where you find out. Like, I hate that it takes an emergency for you to see how you do in emergencies. And you know what? This is why people have fire drills. I found that out. So we never did a fire drill at this house. I thought that was for school and stuff, but we should have. Anyways, I look to AJ and I'm like, the fuck? Do something. You know, he walks to the window and he goes, I don't know what to do. Don't play with me. Anyways, so I'm like, hey, you should call 911. And it definitely didn't come out that nice. So he calls 911. And I swear, maybe this was just the hormones. Maybe this was just like the primal instincts in me. But I swear the dispatcher was talking at glacial speeds. And I swear AJ was talking back even slower. Hi, what's the address of your emergency? Here's AJ. Yeah, so I'm at, all right, and, what's your emergency? Meanwhile, I'm like, is our house about to blow up? I'm in the background with the baby, like, can you guys talk a little faster? So they're going back and forth. And, you know, again, my brain is maybe like exaggerating this, but I swear to God, AJ was like not talking fast enough. And so he's like, what's the emergency? And he's like, yeah, so I was just outside and grilling and, you know, I think I didn't empty the grease tray out. and I just like come from behind and I'm like, tell him to send a fucking fire truck. I've got the baby in my hand. I'm like, I'm going to leave. I'm actually going to go sprint across the street and I'll see ya. I hope the house makes it. Okay. So he's like, yeah, can you send a fire truck? And the guy's like, all right, we'll send a fire truck. So anyways, the conversation on the phone lasted so incredibly long that by the time they were done with kikiing on the phone, we turned around and the flame had gone out on its own. Yeah. So this is your unfriendly reminder to just have a fire extinguisher nearby. You never know if you're going to need it, and you don't want to find out how to use it when you need it. So get one, take it out the fucking box, and also watch a little YouTube tutorial on how to use that. Make sure everybody in your house knows where it's at. Make sure everybody knows how to use it. Okay? Okay. Now, that definitely put me in a state of fight or flight, similarly to the rest of the world. So let's get back into the nervous system here. So yeah, speaking of nervous systems and anxiety and things that put you in it, that fire definitely was one of those things. And here's the thing, having a baby has really held a mirror up to me. And one thing that I've been able to piece together is Mello feeds off of my energy. And I'm realizing that I am just a ball of nerves. I have been. I know that. And my therapist recently asked me, when was my earliest memory of anxiety? And I can go back to being like 3 or 4 years old and feeling like I was standing on the edge of a cliff. In fact, I went through a phase where, and I was never diagnosed, I'm using this term very lightly, where I had OCD behaviors, where everything in my life had to be like a certain way. It had to feel a certain way on me. Like the line on my sock had to go across my toes perfectly. My belt had to be on the tightest possible loop. My hair needed to be really tight. I used to pull my ponytail so far tight that I had these little bumps around my edges because I was pulling so hard on my hair. The way that I made my bed, I had to have all the sheets tucked in. My mom used to joke that it was like military style and I should have joined like someone's military, and I was 5 years old. That was kind of weird, and they thought I was like cute and quirky, and they used to say things like, she's just like really grown up for her age. Baby, I was so anxious. So this memory for me goes back to being so little and so young and feeling so out of control for some reason. And no, I haven't pinpointed that yet, but it is something that I am working on and trying to figure out, like, where did this feeling come from? What did something happen that I'm not aware of to make me feel safer because all these things, everything that literally made me feel like the tightness of my clothes, the tightness of my hair, the sock being perfectly lined, my bed sheets being tucked in, damn near swaddling me, all of that made me feel safe. So it's like, what was happening, right? And so I'm realizing that I've been in that state for so long. It's just kind of, there have been different variations of it. And so now I'm at a place where I'm like, I really want to get this shit under control. Like I feel more motivated than ever to do that. So there are several things that I've been putting in place, working alongside. I have 2 therapists now. One is helping me with EMDR, and my other therapist is like my normal, I guess you would say talk therapy. I don't know the terms, but I do have 2 people I'm working with right now. And the EMDR is more for trauma-based stuff. So I'm hoping to find some breakthroughs in like what has been causing me all of these big feelings for so long. So something I'm looking to do is create more dopamine boundaries. I think when people hear the word dopamine, they automatically think the like happy drug, when that's not exactly right. That's more your serotonin. Dopamine is like your motivation. It's like the anticipation chemical of like expecting something and the excitement behind it, which is like also a pretty fun feeling, right? Like when you know something's coming or you're waiting for something, like that's a fun feeling. So I think dopamine is often correlated with a lot of the social media things we have. Like when you're anticipating comments on a post, anticipating likes, anticipating this attention or positive attention, your dopamine receptors are just firing off. And obviously like all these platforms know this and have played into that, making like the little heart, like changing the colors. Like you don't realize all of that is put in place to get your little dopamine receptors to just tickle and light up. Your dopamine spikes when you're checking notifications, refreshing your email, waiting for something to come through, jumping from task to task. Like that's typically like dopamine associated things. How this correlates to your nervous system though is that when you're anticipating something, you are staying alert and you're waiting for something. So going back to how we were talking about stress isn't necessarily a negative thing. Stress is that thing that keeps you alert. So with the dopamine, because there's so literally billion-dollar companies are now playing on your dopamine receptors and it's keeping you in a state of alertness. So basically, the bottom line here is that when you're in a state of staying alert, it's difficult to stay calm. Because staying alert means you can't be on guard. You can't be looking for something. Let's go back to like our primal brains. If you were staying alert, looking for something, whether that's trouble or something, you're anticipating something. If you are anticipating something, you can't relax. So this is where we have to start creating boundaries. We have to create those dopamine boundaries. One thing that I personally like to do for one of my dopamine boundaries is not start my morning off with all the dopamine, which for me, that comes mostly from my phone. So in the mornings, I am back here in my yard watching the sunrise. I like to have a slow ass morning and I don't want to set the tone that I need all this dopamine to get through my day. So that's one way that I've created a dopamine boundary. I would love to hear what you guys do for your dopamine boundaries, but that's just one for me. Next, I love this one. I love to raw dog leaving the house. This basically just means I leave the house without my phone. So really, it's tough because if I leave the house by myself, I'm not going to do this because I do need a line of communication with people. I have a baby. So if I definitely don't have Mello with me, or even if I do, I need my phone with me. It makes me feel safe, makes me feel better. But if we're going somewhere and I'm with AJ, I'm with like a family member, I will just leave my phone behind. Just not being in the same room or vicinity as my phone gives me, I can't even explain to you the relief I feel when I don't have to take my phone with me somewhere. It is lovely. And whether or not people are trying to get in touch with me, I feel like less anxiety behind needing to know if they are. So here's what I do to kind of make that a little easier. If I know we're going to leave the house to go somewhere, and if I do feel anxiety about that, I will just text somebody that I don't have my phone. If you need me, contact AJ. I feel like anybody who is like of importance has my number and has his. If there's something so incredibly urgent, they will go to him. Otherwise, it's probably not that urgent. You know what I'm saying? And it can wait for like the 30-minute errand that we're going to run. But just for those measures, it makes me feel better to know people know how to get in contact with me. So if you can, just like raw dog leaving the house. If one of your friends is going to take their phone, like just let somebody trusted know you're going to take a break from your phone and leave it at the house. And if they need you, contact so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? It's really nice. And it's just like a breath of fresh air to not constantly have this thing on you. There's like this underlying pressure and this constant feeling that I have where it's like I have to constantly check and be in contact with people, and that's definitely not normal. And I'm sure in ways it's fucking up our nervous system and causing so much dysregulation to constantly be, we said in the first one, anticipating something, anticipating a message, feeling like someone needs to text you. And a lot of my stuff with my phone is also work related. So I do have an unhealthy like relationship with it where when I see a text message, I feel like someone's going to tell me I need to do something. I need to do this post, get this task done. Like there's a lot associated with my phone. So I have to have these breaks and boundaries with it. Okay, besties, if you love hot takes, juicy confessions, and best friend energy, you're going to want to sit down for this. The Spill the Pop tour is officially popping off, brought to you by Simply Pop, the juicy new prebiotic soda. And you're never going to guess who's on the mic. My girls, Alicia Marie and Remy Cruz from Pretty Basic. Yeah. I love me a good live show, and this one's extra juicy. Think surprised guest, giveaways, and pop culture combos that only hit harder when you're there in real life. They're kicking it off April 30th in LA, and if I weren't covered in breast milk with a new baby on my hip, I'd be front row. Don't miss it. This isn't your average podcast taping. This is juicy, bubbly, and unapologetically fun. Spill the Pop is coming to a city near you. For more tour information, visit coqrl.com/simplypoptour. Tickets are free and available now, but hurry. Availability is limited. Another thing I'm doing to help my nervous system out is trading time instead of money. So think along the lines of like babysitting swaps, like kids come over here, you and your husband go out, vice versa. We'll do it another night. You guys watch our kids, like trading time in that way instead of money. Clothing swaps instead of going to shop instantly. Like maybe go through your friend's closet, y'all work things out. Like look at other options in terms of how you can trade time instead of monetary things. Another thing is potlucks. Can we get back to potlucks? Do you trust your friend to cook a little nice snack or meal for you? Like just ways that you can have more community in your life and build more of a village for yourself and your family and your friends. I think we're going to see the pendulum swing because there's this hyper independence right now and everybody is so like me centered, but humans thrive on community and your nervous system thrives on interdependence. So we have to look to our community. We have to look to our village. And I am the first one to be so guilty of being hyper independent. Like oldest daughter over here, like it's literally in my DNA to be like, let me do it myself. I don't need to ask for help. But now that I have Mello, I definitely don't want to translate that to him. I don't want to pass that down to him. That's not cute. Like that's not a flex that I'm like hyper independent because I know the toll that it's taking on me and how I feel as an adult, feeling like I have a hard time asking for help and other things. I don't want him to feel like that. So I am making an effort to lean on the village, especially now that he's here. The village has been coming through for us in so many ways, and I'm so thankful for that. And you know, that's something I want to continue to go out of my way to do. And he's been my biggest motivator to bring in more community and bring in more people because we all need it. We all need it at this time more than ever. So a lot of this is social media related, right? And I think another thing we have to play into and become more aware of is the content we are being served. A lot of the content that does very well and goes viral typically plays on your emotion in one way or another. I know this as a content creator. I know content creators know how to manipulate the way they present their content sometimes in order to make you feel something. So something you have to have when you're online is discernment. I need you to open your third eye and start paying attention to how people present information to you. Let's talk about the news, for example. I consume news from that. There's this app called Ground News. It will literally tell you when an article is swinging more to the right or more to the left, or what kind of bias it has. And it's just a more clear-cut way of getting your news. Like, no, I am not sponsored by them. I just really want you to understand there are options out there so you can get information without getting played. Okay. A lot of people will play on your emotions, especially fear, especially anger. You've heard of rage baiting, right? When creators will go out of their way to purposely piss you off so that you comment on the post, so that you share the post. Meanwhile, they don't even believe half the stuff they're saying. It's rage bait. It's meant to bait you into being mad so that they can get pushed through the algorithm. And yes, there are literally psychopath creators, we know this, that do not feel any ounce of remorse, don't care how you feel, they just want the views. So pay attention to the words they're using. When they're literally fear-mongering, they will use words to scare you. They will use words to elicit fear in you, because when you do, you're kind of locked into hearing what else they have to say. So what else does that mean for them? Their watch time goes up, and watch time is the biggest currency across every single platform. How long you watch is what matters the most. So keep that in mind. If someone is making you feel a bad emotion, just like pause for a second and think, what words did they use? Oh, I hate on TikTok when people are talking about something scary and they put that scary ass music in the background with it. Be so fucking for real. I can't even take it serious now. Like, you got some doom and gloom music going in the bathroom while you're talking about something horrific. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. It's old. It's played out. It's tired. You can communicate the same information in a more just dry, direct way. It's just you won't see those on your For You page or across your feed because those don't trend. Those don't do numbers. What does numbers is people screaming in your face, scaring the shit out of you. So I need y'all to open your third eye and use discernment when you scroll, because these people are playing with your nervous system. Okay, you're letting people have too much access to your emotions and your feelings, and meanwhile they're kikiing over here, kicking their feet, getting a check for it. Stop it. Something else I'm doing is when I set my goals, for every monetary, materialistic goal that I have to also have a goal in place that is purely just centered around joy, peace, or happiness. Okay. So let me give you an example. I'm always going to make financial goals. I'm my own business, so I have to set, quarterly goals like anybody else. However, when I do that, I want to make sure that I'm pairing that with something that would elicit joy. Money does not equal happiness to me. I have figured that out. I thought at one point in my life that it did, but go ahead, you figure it out for yourself. Try, set a monetary goal, get there, and then tell me how you feel. You'll feel the exact fucking same with more money in your account. Okay. Money does not mean happiness. So here's an example. Sure, I will set my quarterly goals for money, but at the same time, I'll do some goals that will just bring me happiness. And one of those things I've talked about previously is that hosting my friends and family really makes me happy. Honestly, a big motivator for me becoming a homeowner was I wanted to have a space where everybody could sit at the table and eat together. I just wanted to have a room to have people in the same space so that we could celebrate things. That has been one of my biggest goals for years. So to finally be a homeowner and, I hit those financial goals, but there was a reason I wanted that financial goal. A lot of people think they just want money. They want the materialistic things. But do you know why you want those things? There's probably a deeper reason why. And the reason I say think a little bit further past those materialistic goals is because you will hit them and you'll get there and you'll feel, you're just going to feel so empty. Okay. You're going to feel like, what now? And the problem with that is you continue to move the goalpost when you don't have a deeper meaning for your goals, when you don't have a deeper why. You don't understand why you even want things. You just know that you want more. But that's capitalism. Don't fall for it. Okay. Be more intentional. It's okay to want to have more money, but ask yourself the bigger picture questions on why that is, so that you don't fall into the system of continually wanting more, chasing after it, getting it, wanting more, chasing after it, getting it, and just playing into this vicious cycle. Because again, all of this ends up leading you to burnout. It ends up leading you to that place where you're easily manipulated and you fall for all these little systems that are put in place to keep you broke, busted, and disgusted. You know that friend who always forgets to Venmo you back? Yeah, we've all got one. But today we're flipping the script, because Venmo isn't just for splitting bills anymore. It's for Venmoing everything. Literally. Let me put you on to the Venmo debit card. It connects directly to your Venmo balance and lets you spend it anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So you can use Venmo for the latte in your hand, the leggings you're wearing, the couch you're currently rotting on, and even the 3 a.m. sushi order you swore you wouldn't make again. Here's what I love. I can get paid back for drinks and use the same balance for my Uber home. Sell a pair of sneakers, boom, buy a new pair. Same account, no transfers, no drama, just vibes. And according to Girl Math, when you spend using your Venmo balance, spending is a lot more enjoyable. So that latte is going to taste a lot sweeter when you pay for it with your Venmo balance. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you. And don't even get me started on the cashback. Up to 15% at spots you're already obsessed with. Like, hello, it's giving rewards without the stress of credit. Oh, and the card, it's cute. Comes in different colors, so you can pick one that actually matches your vibe, because yes, aesthetics matter. So if you're ready to Venmo your way through life, visit venmo.me/debit to learn more and sign up. Again, that's venmo.me/debit. Another thing we're going to start doing is stop glamorizing being busy, okay? And I think people are really going to pick up on this soon. But like when you think back to, I don't know, like I feel like in the 2010s and like 2016, like I saw the word like boss babe so much, like I can't even look at the word these days. I have like a visceral reaction, like an automatic when I see boss babe. And I'm not saying like boss babe in itself is bad, but like the movement behind being a boss babe was kind of like annoying and just like honestly, it wasn't it. Okay, we were just glamorizing being super busy and burnt out and like this hustle culture. Anything that's promoting hustle culture right now, just go ahead and unsubscribe to it. No, no. Here's the thing. People say time is a luxury, right? So I think that means boredom is a privilege. Here's the thing. If you are bored in your life, you have something great. You have time because that means you can really fill that in a way that you want. You can be intentional with that time. Boredom is truly going to be one of the biggest flexes in the upcoming years. Do with that what you will. But I think if you have time, the real value is that you can dictate how you want to fill that time. Because here's the thing, when I think of being busy, I feel like that means I have a bunch of things to do that I am obligated to do. I don't consider myself busy like when I'm on vacation, but hell, like maybe I am, but it's a different kind of busy. It's like, no, this is like me filling my time the way I want to, versus when I'm busy, it's like these are my responsibilities, my obligations, things I need to get done. And yes, we're gonna have those things, but we have to be careful of glamorizing them to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm a boss babe. No, you're burnt out and you need a nap, okay? And your hair is falling out. Like you need to slow down. Rest is good. We need to start talking about rest more. And it doesn't mean you're lazy. There's a drastic difference between understanding balance and being lazy. Yes, you can be lazy, but you can also be balanced. And that's what I really want to prioritize moving forward, is saying I get to fill my time in ways that fill my cup versus constantly pouring out and being validated by constantly being busy, because that was something that I used to pride myself on, is like, I have no time in my day to do anything. I don't even have time to eat. Like I'm so skinty now. No, it wasn't cute. It was like I was stuck in a state of fight or flight and survival mode. And when I had a moment to sit and to think and to actually take a break, I was so anxious because I didn't know what to do at that time. And I drank the capitalist Kool-Aid and I was just work me to death. Like I need to be busy or I'm never going to be successful. Like I truly believed that. But again, I will remind you, think of like the hardest working people in your life. I guarantee you, if you can think of like 5 of the hardest working people in your life, all of them probably have different incomes and salaries. Truly, hard work does not equate to success, and y'all have to remember that. It's not necessarily a lie, but it can be very deceiving because it's just simply not a guarantee. Hard work is a piece of the puzzle to being a successful person, but there are so many other things put in place. There are plenty of hardworking people who are still trying to survive day to day. So what is it? It's not just hard work. It's a lot of other things. It's connections, it's privilege, it's access to having that success. There are so many things that go into place in order for someone to get somewhere in life. So just remember that and don't fall for this whole narrative that you have to run yourself to the ground to be able to have an enjoyable, comfortable life. It is just a portion of the story. So now I want to direct your attention to the screen for another new segment called Lowkey or Loco. Yes. So basically this one is centered around you guys. You get to submit to me submissions where you're like, am I being crazy or is this good? Lowkey or Loco. So since this is the first one, I asked my friends and family to send me their Lowkey or Locos. And one of my friends sent me one that says, I waited 37 minutes to text my crush back, even though I saw the message immediately. So I looked chill and emotionally stable. Was this Lowkey or Loco? I've definitely done this in the past. I feel like that's something I used to do in high school and college. I didn't want to text back too fast. I was like, ooh, let me not look desperate, even though my hand was glued to my phone constantly, waiting for the text. Could never let him know. So I get it. I fully get it. But here's the thing. I'm going to say it's Loco. Because, it depends here. I know this friend, right? This friend is definitely at the point of wanting a more serious relationship. And this behavior, boo-boo, so unserious. Okay. Waiting 37 minutes to reply back. Stop it. If you saw the text, just reply, because here's the thing. If you want a serious relationship with this person, they're going to find out who you are, and it's okay to be excited about somebody. We live in a time where it's so cringe to be into people. I'm finding that out. It's very strange. Why don't we just be more upfront? And if not, just get lost. I don't know. Taking notes from Love Island, just put it out there. Say how you feel. That's the one good thing I'm learning from Love Island is people need to be more direct. So yes, very Loco that you waited 37 minutes to text back just to look cool. Clocking that. Show them your true colors from the jump. I don't think it means you're desperate. I think it just means you're interested. And there are clearly signs of someone being desperate about something, and that's just not it in my opinion. So if he feels put off by that, that's great for you to know. He is also so unserious, and therefore let's move on. So yeah, Lowkey or Loco, what do you guys think? Anyways, this was fun chatting about our nervous systems together. I definitely want to be more intentional moving forward. I am trying to be the most unbothered bitch you've ever met, and I will get there. Mark my words. And we're slowly but surely getting there, learning a lot more every single day. And I'm definitely putting in the work behind the scenes. And I'm excited to share more about that and talk more with you there. Like I mentioned, I am doing EMDR, which is kind of fucking scary. If you give it a quick Google, it's trauma-based therapy. So it's intense, but I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do it. Which probably means the content about to be real cuckoo. So let me know if you have anything put in place to help regulate your nervous system. I definitely think it's something we're going to be talking about more, like I said, in the next few years, because this is a root cause of where everything is coming from. And I think if we can regulate that, we can probably improve other areas of our life and our emotions drastically. So let me know. Chat, you can support the show by subscribing or following the podcast. We post every single Monday, so come check us out. And definitely check out our sponsors. They are keeping the show going. We're very thankful for them. Just check them out. Give them a quick little check. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this episode. And as per usual, I'll see you guys next week.